Boom! And we are live. So let's check if everything is running smoothly everywhere. Hello, everyone. Join us for this session, the Startup Kitchen Show. Let us know that you're here by writing a little message in the chat. Let us know if you can hear us well and tell us where you're from because this episode is another international episode. Let's go. So I'm gonna check a couple of other social media. Chook, chook, chook. There you go. Okay, so we are live on X. So I'm gonna give you the link in the in the
Mm-hmm.
chat so you can share it.
Yeah,
Copy
sure.
link. Yeah, there you go. So now you'll be able to share that. Boom. Okay. For those who just joined, we'll be starting in about 2 minutes. Just give us a little time to spread the good news. Boom. There we go. All right, all right, all right. Okay, we have people tuning in. Hello, hello. Let us know that you're here with a little hello in the comments. Let us know if the sound is good, where you from. We want to test everything before we get fully started. All right, let me check this. Okay, live on LinkedIn as well. Amazing. All good. Live on X. All good as well. Excellent. And I think YouTube is also running. Yes, perfect. All good. Love that. All right, all right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Startup Kitchen Show, no artificial flavors. And we have a flavor expert today with us. So this is going to make it even better. Let us know in the comments if you hear us well, where you're from, and welcome our guest. There you go. Right. Post. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Okay. More and more people joining in. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Startup Kitchen Show. We'll start in just a couple of seconds. If I can get some messages in the chat just to make sure everything is working well. See, look what we have here. Another Brazilian folk. Bom dia, Kelly. Bom dia. I love this. New Jersey. Excellent. So great to have you here. I want to have you on the show, Kelly. I want to have you on the show. I don't know why I attract so many Brazilians in my network. We'll have to figure this out. If you have a theory for that, I'll take it. I'll take it. Love it. Okay, let's get started. Bruna, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Cool. Did you get your sour candy?
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So, this show is called the Startup Kitchen Show. And so, the first thing I want to ask my guests is a bit of a funny joke, but at the same time, there's a little bit of logic behind it. What is your favorite dish?
To cook or to eat? It's
To
different.
eat. To eat.
To eat. Mm, I think pizza. I know it's like not a fancy one, but yeah, I think pizza is my favorite one.
Okay. What would you typically put on your pizza?
Oh, I'm Italian, so I don't have like much going on there. So just like margarita is my favorite. So just cheese, tomato sauce, and that's pretty much it.
Simple,
Yes, classic.
simple,
Yeah,
classic, simple, yet very tasty.
yeah.
I
But to cook, I do risotto.
risotto.
That's
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
I do.
okay, excellent. So that's two Italian dishes
Yes,
because you're half Italian or portion
yes,
Italian, but
yeah,
you're also a portion Brazilian,
yes.
right?
That's true. Yeah. Uh,
So yeah, go ahead.
all of my family came from Italy, but I was born in Brazil, so I lived in Brazil most of my life. So
Okay,
yeah, but
very interesting.
all yeah.
I love this. So that's very interesting because your dish, your favorite dish is pizza, but the leanest, the simplest way of pizza,
Hmm.
and that's already a business masterclass. Like a good business, a good product is often a simple product, but that gets the basics perfectly.
Exactly. And I used to struggle with that a lot because I always thought, oh, no one's going to buy it that way. Like, it's too simple. What else should I add? What else should I add? And when you think that way, you think you never finish. It's never going to be enough. So the simple is the better because it's exactly what you're saying. Fundamentally, people, and I lived like everywhere. I lived in Australia, I lived in Italy, I lived in Brazil, in the US, in England, and of course there's differences culturally. We have like some things are different, but mainly everyone has the same problems. We are all humans with the same kind of problems. So, in the end of the day, what people want everywhere is just simple solutions. That's pretty much it.
I love it. This is exactly the best trailer for this show. We start from something that everyone knows, food, and then we get to the business world and the startup and try to combine both because I think food is a universal language. Everyone knows pizza all around the world. It's a universal language, and business is also universal because it's fixing people's problem, and and blending the two for me is the perfect recipe. So I love this. I love this introduction for the Startup Kitchen show. So welcome everyone. This is the Startup Kitchen show. Today our guest is Bruna. Should I say Bruna or Raquel?
Uh, y- Whatever you think it's best. I use Raquel more for English speaking
Okay.
people because it's easier. But yeah,
Okay. Okay.
whatever.
Okay. No problem. So I'll go with Raquel. My audience doesn't know you.
No.
So who are you? Can you give us the origin story?
Okay. So I'm 35 years old. I'm a mom of two kids, and I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Like since I was very young, I always did. Like I used to have a car wash in my dad's like where we used to live. But and then it when I was getting older, I of course I majored in marketing. So as soon as I was out of college, I worked with that. So that was I used to have a proper like corporate job, but I've always like did some things on my own. Uh, and since I traveled a lot, it's easier, of course, to maintain something that you can take with you wherever you are. So I've always, I'm not always, I've worked with the things that I'm working now for the last 5 years at least, but I've always liked disruptive things. So that's always my like focus point. So since like even the car wash, it was a dry car wash, so we didn't use water. That's our like differential. And back then, people didn't know about it, especially in Brazil. And yeah, I think I've always been passionate about disruptive things, and after my son was born and diagnosed with autism, which we now know that he doesn't have. He has other things. He has ADHD, but he also has a hearing problem. Like, yeah, it's a whole topic. I promise some other day I will explain it fully.
Yeah.
But since he was diagnosed and I was against giving him prescription drugs,
Okay.
then I found a new passion that's trying to get people healthier and happier without prescription drugs. So that was, I think, the kickoff of everything that I'm working at the moment.
Yep. Sorry. That's a live running on the side. Yeah. Yeah, I love this. I love this. So, one thing I want to know, and because there is, I think there's a myth around entrepreneurs are born because they're surrounded by entrepreneurs. So I want to know if it's the case with you. Like, do you have entrepreneurs and business owners in your family, or did you grow up with business people around you?
I didn't like not in my direct family, no, but my dad was always the one pushing me to own my own business. He never was the one pushing the other way. I know that's the normal thing is like, oh, go to a steady job and work like 50 years for one company. He wasn't like that at all. He used to be a soccer player, so he
Oh, okay.
didn't had a corporate job as well. So, but even then, like when I was younger, he was always saying, "You should own your own business." I don't know what business, but figure it out and like pave your own path. He was always like that, but I didn't had any immediately examples at home or like role models to go and ask things. But and that's, I think, it's something that I struggle with because every problem, and I had a bunch of problems along the way, was like a new one. No one could help me because no one was went or was going through that. So that was a hard thing. But I did have like my dad saying, "Go for it," and it doesn't matter if you fail, because a successful entrepreneur is just a very stubborn, like failure.
Yeah.
He failed so many times until he didn't fail anymore. So yeah, I think that's the mentality. if if you don't have a immediately role model, you should, I don't know, start your own example and be the next
Exactly. Become.
generation
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I love that. This also kills the imposter syndrome because it's like you building yourself and then you're sharing this with others without pretending you're an expert or anything, but sharing that experience and that knowledge that you built across time. Um, I want to get into a little bit of a cultural question here because you mentioned your dad was one enabler into your startup debut.
yeah.
What I would like to know, because this may be a very big difference between some countries like the U.S., Brazil, or France. Like for example, in France, failure. I grew up in France. Failure um, is is not accepted and is not celebrated.
Hmm.
In the U.S., it's the complete opposite. If you fail, people will respect that you tried. People respect that you tried again and stand back up, got back up, etc. So I'm curious to know. You grew up in Brazil. What is the social norm around failure?
I think I have two answers to that because
Okay.
when I was growing up, we always have this mentality that Brazilians never give up. It was actually like almost a national thing. Oh, Brazilians never give up. Like it's always hard, and everybody's trying to make you give up, but you don't. So I think that's pretty much what we should aim to always in any place. But also, now, and especially a few years, we were actually talking about that before we entered the life. There's this cultural phenomenon that you have to be successful because otherwise you're just a loser. Like it's no in between. And when you use like social media to look for your examples, you're always going to see only the good side because that's only what people post on social media. You're never gonna see, or I mean, you've seen on X or maybe on YouTube more, but pretty much all that you can see is people going like into the good things. And it looks like that when you fail, and you are going to fail because no entrepreneur on the face of earth was 100% successful all the time. But when you do, it feels like you're the only one failing. So I think like people are trying to sell this idea that you should only like go for it 100%, and if you fail, it's your fault. And that's a cultural shift that it's really problematic because it makes people like don't want to try anymore. They don't, and that's how I see things now. And you talk about the US, the US, Canada as well, but I think the US even more. Uh, it has so much opportunity to like learn. Even if you fail, you get to learn, and you have like you can adapt and shift quickly. And here in Brazil, I see that it's way harder because it's too expensive to be an entrepreneur, and everybody's trying to like be on your way, or I don't know. I don't like the way that people deal with that now, that mentality. But we used to be a culture that actually celebrated when you didn't give up. But I don't see that anymore, and I miss that because everything is starting like with $1. You are not gonna make 5,000 in one week. So if you enter with that mentality, you're always gonna be like, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not doing enough, the product's not good enough. And sometimes it is. You just have to adapt the marketing, just the way you're pushing the message. I don't know, little things. But you shouldn't go like to the opposite so hard.
Absolutely, I fully agree. I think if you kill the hope, you kill the game.
Mm-hmm.
It and I think we should protect this at all cost. Protect this at all cost. It's also funny because I want to tap into something we discussed off. It's also uh, the emergence of all those fake successes. Right before we started the live, we were talking about people posting fake, fake wins, fake money they're making, pretending to be rich, and all these kind of things. And I think social media are bombarded with those non-existing success to a point where it seems like this is the normal thing. This is the baseline. And if you're not making 10K per month, you're a
Mm-hmm.
loser, basically, right? And so
Uh-huh.
I think it kills even more people who want to try because they look at themselves and like, I just made $100 this week or this month. What am I supposed to do? Give up?
Yeah, and it's exactly. I get so mad with those things because when you what are those people are doing is basically selling a fake lifestyle that they don't have, to sell courses or stuff like that, to make you believe that you're gonna have that quickly, and they don't have it, so you're not gonna get it as well. But they already get the course money, so they don't care. And it's so ridiculous and fake, and it's unnecessary because first of all, true rich people doesn't show off on social media at all. If you see like the wheel of a guy's car, he's not rich. Okay, that's like doesn't do that. Rich people don't do that. Uh, but even like okay, if you're in a place that you're really looking for solutions, you shouldn't get those guys as examples. And girls as well. I mean, I see a lot of like even OnlyFans girls. Like, oh, I made 1 million. And that's so disturbing because one, it's really hard to make 1 million anywhere. But two, you're selling something that I don't agree with. But it's like a change of values that people should like pay attention to because it's not all about the money. Sometimes a guy with is not showing up at all and is delivering more like real advices and stuff that you can actually learn, and you don't take him seriously because he's not driving a Mercedes or whatever. And that's so ridiculous. And but there is like this wave of how to get rich courses, and especially when you get into the algorithm of developers, you get like, oh, my app just made, and I always comment when I see, oh, my app just made 10K in 5 days, and I always comment, okay, what's the app? Because sometimes it's real and I want to know what's the app, but 90% of the time they don't reply because there is no app. And yeah, and
So
you
true.
should always aim to look to people posting real advices and people with content because everything is so shallow now. Like there's no one is deep enough to have a conversation, or
Yeah.
people need to, they don't want to offer solutions to a problem. And I think that's the main key of anything that you're trying to sell. Because even if it's food, okay, someone's hungry and you have food, that's the solution. But with apps and whatever, you should always aim to sell a solution. And what those people are doing is basically selling fake things to get money for themselves. So there's no content there at all. So yeah, but it's disturbing.
Absolutely. It's absolutely disturbing. And this is exactly one of the main reasons why I decided to create this show, the Startup Kitchen Show. My value proposition is knowledge and experience from founders and investors with no artificial flavor. Um, and that's exactly what I want to tap into. So I fully agree with you that there's too many fake and too many people building useless things. And I also think it's because they don't see the full spectrum of opportunities and they don't see the full picture of the business world, which is why it's a perfect transition to I want to dive into your business origin story. You've built multiple businesses and you have your new baby. You got a third child
Yeah.
that you're going to talk a little bit about today. But I want to get to that business origin story. Can you walk us through the business that you've created? When? What was the problem? What was the solution? And then how did you evolve from those businesses?
Okay. I think well, when I was younger, I had the car wash that I told you. It was really like amateur thing, so it doesn't even count. I'm not even counting that one. But one thing that I people should know, and if you're a founder or if you're starting an app or just selling things, if you sell one thing, $1, if you made one sale, it's a proof that something is working and that could be scalable. Like not $1 million all the time, but like you can make that work. So you shouldn't give up because the first one is the hardest one. So when I was younger and I made those business and it was amateur, but it was selling. So it did work in a way. but I was like I was, I think, 17 when I started, or 16, and I didn't know anything about business, like anything at all. Actually, even today, I've always looked for someone to take care of like the finances and those really like business stuff, because I'm all about the product and how to sell it. And so that was always my weak point, my weak feature. And I didn't scale that. It was very hard to, actually, the worst thing about that business was hire people that are willing to work. People didn't show up at the time that we agreed on, or they didn't want to work as much, or they didn't do a good job at the day, and then I had to redone it like the next day. And it wasn't I wasn't making any money. I was paying to get people to work.
Yes, I want to rebound to that because that's another classic mistake I see a lot, especially from the gurus out there that will tell you, stop selling your time. You have to work on the business, not in the business. Hire people to work for you, blah blah blah. And I have one of my client took it literally. He hired a couple of people to do the job, and he ended up exactly in what you just described. He said, "I I grew the business to like a 7 people's team, but then I ended up spending most of my week catching up with the guys, correcting their mistake, and blah blah blah. And my profit went razor thin. And then you build a cage and you put yourself into it, right?
Exactly. And instead of saving your time, is actually making you lose time and money. So that was the first mistake of that business. And then I had a import business of supplements and stuff to Brazil. And it always was really expensive to buy supplements in Brazil, like very high quality, at least, supplements. And I had this import business that it was small, but it started to like really pay the bills. I was 20 years old, 19 years old, and but me and my partner, we decided to split up, and he bought my part of the business because I was going to Australia, so I couldn't imagine manage things from there. It was really a hands-on business. It was only the both of us, so we didn't have anyone working for us. And so that was actually a successful thing because I actually earned money with that business. But it was so, I was thinking about that before, like this morning, because it's all about timing. Because if we decided to split the business 6 months prior, we probably would have done it in a loss, and I couldn't walk out with money. So it's exactly what we are always talking about now. Uh, just like give you a little more time, try in a different way, and then the business started to walk, like had have good numbers and stability. And I just left because I needed to travel. So that's the like why I left. But it was a nice business because I started my way to this nutritional world that now I'm fully on board. So it was a good. I hadn't had any big issues with that one because, as I said, it was only the both of us. I had all the time in the world, and it was a good business because the market is. It was lacking new products and good products at a cheap price. So that's one thing that is good about traveling everywhere, because you can always sense that the trends in one place is going to get to another place 3 months after or 6 months after. So you started to see those trends happening. And then when I went to Australia and I worked with a lot of things that has nothing to do with entrepreneurship. I wash hairs. I like clean places. I did whatever. I served coffees and I did whatever. Um, and then I went to Italy and England, and I got married. I had my kids, and my son was diagnosed, as I said, and I started to look into CBD for autism because that's what I thought he had back then. And I didn't know anything about CBD. And it's so funny because I've been working with CBD like for a few years now. And one of the like one of the sorry.
Sorry, can you just define CBD for people who may have not heard what that is?
Okay, so CBD is a non-psychoactive cannabinoid. It comes from cannabis, so it's medicinal cannabis, but it's not psychoactive, so it doesn't get you high as THC do. It's like a whole different world and thing. So it's actually you can find in gummies or pills or even patches, but the most common way of taking it is oil. So you just put some under your tongue, and that's it. It's like a vitamin. In England, it is actually considered a supplement. So actually, in Canada and in the US, when you don't have THC, it's also like pretty easy to get your hands to. And I didn't know anything about that. And actually, what I learned was that your body has a system called the endocannabinoid system that takes care of all the things in your body. So your temperature, your pH, your blood pressure, your stress levels, your pain levels. So when something is off, mild, like an insomnia or I don't know, anxiety, or even something like heavier like cancer or Parkinson, Alzheimer's, that is the system that gets out of balance. So the CBD comes as the exact kind of ingredient that system needs to balance itself again. So that's why CBD now works for so many things. You see, like a lot of things taken for a lot of different uh, problems, and that's why, because it balances your body as a whole instead of just masking the symptoms. So I learned that, and I saw that a lot of moms were giving their children uh, CBD and with great results. Like in the US, Brazil, even already, in the UK. And then I went to a drugstore. I got one. You don't have a prescription. You don't need a prescription or anything. So I got the most famous brand there, and I gave it to my son. I asked for a doctor to help me with dosage and everything, and he actually he started speaking in 6 weeks. 6 weeks. He never spoke a word in his life, and he started speaking, and he started to play more and be more like in the present. Like he wasn't as of course, he was hyperactive because he was 2.5, and all kids at 2.5 should be hyperactive, but he wasn't as much as he used to. Like he never slept a whole evening before the CBD, and then he was starting to sleep like 10 hours, 12 hours, but he wasn't wake up to be a robot. Like the next day, he was just fine, and it was a normal kid. And that was always my problem with pharmaceuticals in general, because The thing is, and I'm not like starting a war against pharmaceuticals. I think we all can agree that some things are like lifesavers, like antibiotics or I don't know, a few things overall. But most of things are made to get you addicted, or even like they mask the symptoms, but they don't treat the cause. So you have to take them forever. Like when you
Mm.
take an antidepressive, you're not happy. You're just not sad. So you're a bland person. You don't feel anything. I don't judge people because I took all the medication that you can think of because I had
Yeah.
all the things that you can think of. I had anxiety, I had PTSD, I had postpartum depression. I had a lot of things, and I tried those, and I know how you feel like you're a shell. You don't have anything inside, and you don't feel anything, and that's at first it's really good because you're kind of desperate that you're always sad and you don't want to feel sad anymore. So on the first few months is like, oh, a relief. But after a while, you feel like nothing anymore, and you get a little bit weird about it. At least I did. So I didn't want to give him anything like that, especially like they don't suggested, of course, antidepressive. They did suggested Ritalin for him, and I took Ritalin because I have HD as well, and I almost got a heart attack because my heart.
Can you explain what Ritalin is?
Oh, it's a pharmaceutical drug that gets you to focus, pretty much. It's a highly oh, I forgot the word now. Uh, it's oh my god, it's something that can
Try in Portuguese. I may catch it in French. Yeah.
um oh wait, just a second. Uh, it makes you yeah, it's a stimulant.
Oh, stimulant. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Estimulação.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. It is highly effective stimulant. Almost like and then pretty much they do almost fall into the same category as cocaine, actually. Those kind of drugs. Of course, it's another kind of thing, and the dosage is different, but pretty much it's a drug similar to cocaine. And my heart was beating so fast when I took it that I was so scared that I never took it again. So when they suggested, I told them that I was never gonna give my 2.5 years old son Ritalin or any other stimulant for whatever the reason. And he he never took it. Like even to this day, he only took CBD, and we got so much progress and so much things that was I'm not sure that we were going to be able to get if he was on like prescription drugs, especially because, as I said, you become like a robot thing. And the thing is, I don't judge parents that take pharmaceutical uh, and give to their kids because I know the desperation that you feel, especially if you have to take care of them like alone, and it's not easy at all. But we are having this huge problem that a whole generation is on drugs very early in their lives, and we shouldn't give so many things to such younger like young kids, but also for such a long time. And we are going to see what that makes uh, like in the long term, because especially like stimulants, Ritalin, and other types of stimulants, they can suppress some hormones, and then you don't have like puberty at the age you should have, and there's a lot of issues with that. So it's not a healthy path that we are walking now.
So I want to chime in with uh, with one thing, and this is a message for people who are watching us and all the founders out there. One of the thing I notice a lot is people are building solutions for problem they don't really know and don't really understand. And for those who are watching this, I just want you to rewind the last 10 minutes just so you can see how much expertise Bruna has on the topic, just to show you that that's the way of doing it. Because I see so many people trying to build stuff for people they don't know, problems they don't have, they've never heard of, just because they think it's a great idea. But a good solution comes from a good mastery of the environment you want to tackle in. And so I just wanted to highlight that because like I'm this could have been like a masterclass on pharmaceuticals and CBD, CBD and everything. And in itself, I think it's a great demonstration of you did the study, you did the research. And also one thing that is important is that you were when you built this business, you didn't build this business with, oh, I'm gonna save someone on the other side of the world that I've never met, that I can't picture. But it, your north star was, I want to help my kids,
Hmm.
which is the
Yes.
strongest emotional connection that you have, um, and I think that's also a brilliant lesson for any entrepreneur. Saving someone you don't know at the other side of the world sounds noble, but at the same time will never give you the same energy as if you had to save someone you know that you have a strong emotional connection, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a very personal thing for me. It's exactly what you're saying. I started because I needed to help my son. And then when I saw the results, it was life changing for me because, of course, it was my son. But also, the first thought that I had was, okay, I did the thing for my son, but why wasn't the first option available? Like, why the doctor didn't told me about that? I had to look up on my own. So the first thought that I had was, I need to tell other moms that they have this and they should look into that, because that's one thing that I always like to point out in anything that I do, especially when I'm doing like these talks and content, whatever it is. I'm not here to tell you what you should do, because I don't like the influencer culture. I don't like it at all. What I do like is that we are presenting how things work with us, and so you can do your study and your, like, what do you need to do, and then but know that these are the facts that happen with me, and maybe it helps you too, because learning with your own mistakes is good, but learning with someone else's mistake is even better because you don't have to go through them. So that was my thing. I mean, why? And don't get me wrong, I always like when people say, "Oh, can you help me? What should I do?" And then I say, "Okay, I would have like do that and help them in that way." But people need to stop listen blindly to anything and start doing their own homework, because each person is so individual. Like, you have your own things, I have my own things that happens with me doesn't happens with everybody. And once you follow blindly, And I know that the topic of pharmaceutical is very concerning now because it looks like a political thing, and it's not.
I'm not suicidal, guys, but
Exactly. I mean, I had a lot of threats when I started to start, like when I had like, you shouldn't be talking like that, and I know where you live. I had those, and that's so like crazy because I'm not saying, oh, defund Pfizer. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying
we are
is,
not. Pfizer, we're
yeah,
not.
exactly. Don't sponsor me though. Just I think people should think a little bit more about like, why is this being pushed so hard? Why is this being like so blindly, prescriptions are like giving away prescriptions so blindly to young kids and to everybody? Because prescription drugs can help a lot of people, and some people need them for a lot of different things, but it should be a last resource. You cannot go to a doc. And I saw a tweet this day, a post, I don't know how you call, I call a tweet, yeah. Yeah. It was genius from a doctor, and he said, if your doctor gives you a prescription drug before asks for your nutritional and lifestyle and everything else, he's not your doctor, he's your dealer, because he's not trying to change anything, he's not trying to solve your problem. He's just giving you drugs. So that shouldn't be the rule. That should be the exception. And by no means I say that we don't need like prescription drugs. We do in some cases in a really smaller quantity that we are using now. So that was my like the aha moment that I had. So then I studied neuroscience, just because I was so annoying that people were always saying, "You're not a doctor." What you're saying, you're not a doctor. And now actually I take that as a compliment because no, I'm not a doctor, so big pharma is not paying me. So yeah, now I take that as a, but in like in the early ages, I was like very offended by that because no, I'm not a doctor, but I did my research. And I'm not saying take this, take that. I actually have a few doctors behind me that helps me with what oh, you're not supposed to say that. Try not to add that to that text because we don't have studies proving that. Or, I have done my homework. So that life shifted that way because of that. But now I'm not in that like ego trip anymore. Like, if you don't want to listen to me, fine. I'm just trying to help because I was in that position. But the story. So I started to give it to myself. I speak a lot. I talk a lot. I'm sorry. I never stop talking. But I
I can
was
cut you off if you want.
no, it's fine. I was I saw my son, and he was speaking, and he was happy, and he was healthy, and he wasn't like drugged. Uh, and I actually, I'm sorry to add that here, but I was seeing, I don't know, someone was doing an interview and said that Charlie Kirk, had HDHD, and he was put into stimulants when he was a kid, and his parents took him off because he was like, he wasn't speaking as much, and he wasn't. And if you like him or not, it doesn't matter. He was a genius of like oratory, and he was like a groundbreaking person. And I do believe that if you look into the biggest CEOs and I don't know, everybody that is really being some like disruptive in their fields, you actually get to see that they have neurodivergencies of their own, because they need that to think differently. And I think that can be a superpower if you don't drug kids and let them be different. I mean, why should a kid sit 8 hours a day in a chair if we as an adult couldn't be in that position, you know? So I think,
Yeah.
yes, kids are different now, and we should adapt schools and to get into this new reality instead of just drug them and, yeah, be quiet. So I do think we are losing that, maybe some superpowers around those kids.
Absolutely.
Um, so thinking all of this, I started to take the products to Brazil. So I exported them from England to Brazil, and it was good. Like, we started to sell really fast, and it was better than expected. And then we moved back to Brazil, and the story was on Forbes. Like, we were featured in many magazines, and it helped a lot because a lot of other moms and people, like, in general, reach out and said, "Oh, I'm going through the same thing," or "I'm not as happy as I was with my treatments." And so we got to help a lot of people as well. So that was how everything, like, really started, and now we are 6 years into it. So
Wow. I love this. I love this. I want to rewind this a little bit, make sure like people got the point, but the pattern here is you found a problem and someone really close to you, your kid, had this problem. So then you try to design a solution. So you made research, etc. You designed a solution, you tested it, then you got positive results. And so then you moved into, okay, how can I distribute that to as many people as possible, right?
exactly,
Uh,
exactly.
love it. I love it. I love it. So what I want to do now, and this may be very, very challenging to you, Bruna. I want you to give me the less than 1 minute pitch of Thriver. So if you had to summarize Thriver, like you have 1 minute, and we're gonna clip this so you can use it on social media, and so that everyone who's joining us right now can get it. What is Thriver? You have a minute.
Okay, after all that, I was thinking about how can I give this solution to even more people. So not only locally but globally. So I found Thrivr, that it's an app, a web app, and soon to be an iOS app as well, to people to get their supplement plan and their tips and science backed uh, nutritional plan and everything they need to thrive without prescription drugs, or even get out of prescription drugs using natural supplements. CBD, yes, and other non psychoactive cannabinoids, but also all kinds of supplements. So we have everything on this platform. That you have Stoic AI, because I think people need to learn a little bit more to remain calm in some situations. I do, so I use it a lot. You have the supplement plan that you answer a formulary, and then you can get everything you need and how to take it and when to take it. And there's doctors backing this, so it's not like a random thing that AI is doing. We have the supplement store that if you're a member, you can get supplements and CBD for cost prices, so very cheap. And yeah, that's pretty much Thrive. We want to help people to thrive.
I love this. I love this. One additional question: who is the ideal client for Thrive? Who will best benefit from
People that are tired of trying to get other solutions and don't get the results that they want. So with prescription drugs, a lot of people like want to get out of prescription drugs or don't get the results that they were aiming for. and they don't know how to do it, or how to start and make that a transition. So that's what who are we aiming to, but also any person that needs help getting their like quality of lives improved, and focus, and I don't know, sleep is a big issue. So we help people naturally, because anybody that has any health solutions, if you go the natural path and it actually something that works, you get the results and without the side effects. So that's what we are trying to deliver here, and I think we are doing like pretty successfully. So I'm happy.
Parabéns. I love that. I love that. I want I want to I want to highlight a little bit of the results that you have. So can you share with us how big is the business? How many users of the app you have? How many customers are buying, are active, and stuff like that? So we can get a sense of okay, how big is this project right now?
It's really small, actually. It's not big at all, because I have like all this background story with the CBD company, that now I have my own brand in the US, so it got bigger. But it's actually an offline thing. It's not. It's nothing to do with the app itself. I mean, it's the products are there, but it's not the main focus of it. So it's a brand new thing. I have a co-founder that is helping me with coding and everything. I actually met him through X, so it was a really amazing story. And I promise I'm not going to tell it at all, because we are going to be long, like 3 hour long podcast here. But
Why
it
not?
was really, yeah, exactly. I mean, it was really nice, and he's helping me with all that. And without him, I think I wouldn't be able to deliver that product, because, as I said, I have my strengths, but coding is not one of them. So I am learning, but I'm not like that good. So he helped me with. But now we are like in the testing phase yet, like the beta testing. Like it's on, you can go and it's working, it's great, you got the products and everything, but it's like just started. So I'm not, I don't have numbers yet, but yeah, we hopefully that it's gonna be our, I mean, my goal is to get to 100 customers in the next 60 days. So I'm thinking like baby steps here, and then hopefully scale into a bigger thing.
Sorry if I kind of trapped you into this question,
I can hear you.
but can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, what about now?
I'm not hearing you at all.
Okay, let me see if I can fix that. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me or if it's just a Bruna thing. uh, can you hear me now? Hello, hello. Let me check. Sound test. Yeah, the microphone is on. Okay. Um, can you hear me? Okay. So let me just type in. So
Okay, people are hearing. I think it's just me. Something is off here.
okay. So um, so I'm gonna type in the question and see if I can fix this later. Um, let's just see if we can get. Let's just
Okay, now
see
it's back.
if we can get. Okay, you can hear me now.
Let's just okay, now it's back.
If we can get. Okay, you can hear me.
Let's just okay, now it's back. If we can get. It's weird now.
Okay, so my question for you is, can you summarize a little bit of your entrepreneurial journey so that people can get like a high view of all the businesses that you did in just a minute?
Yeah, sure. Uh, so I started with the supplement importation, import export business. That it was successful, kind of. It wasn't very like professional. It was very amateur thing, but I sold my part, and then I started the CBD business. Product wise, just like not online presence at all. It was just import products and sell them. Um, and now I have Thrive, and I also have Ship Together that we haven't discussed it, but I want to quickly mention, and I promise that I'm going to be quick, that it's actually a Tinder kind of thing for matching founders. So if you have a company and you are looking for funding or marketing or coding or developers or whatever you need, or if you are those things and you're trying to find an idea to work on, that's what Ship Together is for. Uh, my co-founder is going to kill me because the iOS app is not ready yet, and he didn't want me to mention, but the web app is working and you can sign on, and you have, I think, 3 matches free. So you can use the app and see how it goes, and then you pay for the more like advanced features. But you already have the chat, and it's really cool. I think it's a really amazing thing because even though I wasn't into like online business for that long, I always had these ideas that was never like took off because I never had like this co-founder to help me, or I don't know. I think sometimes, and I have this problem that I have this. I would get so excited to start a thing, and then 5 days went by, and then I'm not that excited anymore. I think we all have that. Uh, and then, yes, I do. And then I have having a co-founder is really good, not only because of the things that it can bring to you, like their strengths in the development area, but also because it's someone that you is going to push you through that finish line. So I think that he really helped me and always helped me. So it's a really fun project, and I'm really excited about it. I know that my heart it always goes to Thrive because it's a personal thing and something that I think we are starting to enter this market. But Ship Together is also a very excited thing that hopefully will help other people. Oh yeah, because one of the things that you I forgot to mention that one of the things that always annoyed me was that when I was starting the CBD company, I need funding. Like for the basic things, you need funding for marketing, you need funding for, I don't know, buying a domain, whatever. But yes, uh, you need a little bit funding. You don't need a lot of funding. Sometimes you need just 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. And a lot of times I was sitting in a table with investors, and I swear to God that I heard that 3 times. That's too little of a check for me to write. And that annoyed me so much because I swear that on the third time I told the guy, okay, so do philanthropy, just give me the check then. If it's too small of a check, then just give it to me. I was so mad, and it is a problem with founders because sometimes you're not big enough to sit in the table of a bank or, I don't know, a huge VC. you just need a little bit and you don't have where to get it from. And sometimes investors only have a little amount to invest, and that's fine as well. So I haven't saw anywhere where you can meet, like those people can meet. So that was the thing that Ship Together always also helps with, because you can start with $1,000 investment, and it's good to point out that we don't deal with money at all. It's all like straight. The founder and the investors are going to talk by themselves, but we do vetted the business. So if you are an investor and want to see like really vetted business, we do that in like for the people asking for funding. So I think the key things and the mistakes to avoid when you're looking for co-founders and investors. First of all, don't be desperate when you're looking for a co-founder or an investor, because you will fall into a trap. I did a few times. So just like vet the person you're uh, like talking with, and of course, sometimes it's not all about the receipts that they can show you, but you can feel the person. When you're not desperate, you can sense when a person is full of it or if it's a real one. And well, that is the main lesson. Don't do anything with don't rush into anything. Do the things that you need to do like calmly, and especially don't think you need too much to start. You should start small, as we are talking in the beginning. Start small, start with what you have. And if you are waiting to have the perfect scenario and the perfect thing to go on, you're never going to start. So start and then you get better. That's the main thing.
100%. Try the audio again. No. Okay, you don't hear me. So here's
I
my
don't know if
next
it's my
question.
browser.
Yeah, so here's
I'm
my
on
question.
Brave. I don't know.
I'm
It's a
gonna
weird
type it
browser.
here. Um uh so I want to know if how did you leverage your marketing degree in your and what was useful about it? What was useful about your marketing for your businesses?
What was useful? Honestly, nothing. Nothing was useful, really, because first of all, when I entered the marketing, it's advertising and marketing college. I entered with the sense, and I think most people who enter advertising and marketing go with that you're gonna write those, you're gonna live in Madman. That's your like idea of advertising, and it's really not that at all. The day-to-day things are very boring and very like any other business. So of course, having some like repertoire in those areas, it's like good and helps you, but mostly because you can expand your minds. Like it's not very technical at all, especially because I majored in 2011 and things changed a lot since then. I mean, we didn't had
Yeah.
like TikTok or X or anything. Like we did have a Twitter, but no one was using the way that we are now. So it's a different world, and I think people do take like degrees very not as much, but still like very uh, seriously, degrees very seriously, and it's not about the degree itself. If you study and if you have that curiosity in always learning and be updated with everything. That's the main thing that's going to make a difference, especially in marketing, because it's all about strategy, and it changed a lot. So I don't know. It helped with a few like doors on visas. Like a green card, you can only get an easy green card with a degree, so that helped. But other than that, it's not like something that I take as necessary to build anything. Uh, I do think that we are seeing the end of the influencer era. So all the things that we were discussing, that we are tired of fake founders or fake money or fake whatever. I think that is getting people tired as well, like in the general sense. So I do think people are looking for more real and connections and real storytelling. So that's the main thing that I see with successful marketing campaigns. Storytelling, a good one, a real one, and even if you're small, you don't have money to actually push like an ad or pay for your content. Just do your thing and like be consistent on it, because it's not gonna be easy in the beginning. Like it's my posts on Twitter like still have like one like sometimes, and that's frustrating because you're talking like you can even I sell for more people that like my tweets, and should it be the other way around, right? But no, so that's frustrating. But do your thing, like keep going, don't stop, and don't try to overthink your marketing. You don't have to jump out of a plane like Red Bull does it. You know how Red Bull started? They didn't have money in the beginning, so they crushed a lot of cans, empty cans, and threw like a lot of garbage cans. I don't know if that story is real, but we all heard it. So it looks like a lot of people were drinking it, but they were the ones that were living like everywhere. That's the thing. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of run things to start. Just do like little things, real things. That's the thing now. We are lacking real, and do things with connections. Like try to connect with people. Someone is your buyer, and someone is the person you want to talk to. Once you figure that out, who are you talking to, it's easier to do your content and your marketing. So that's what I would go for. That's what I'm trying to do actually. So uh, I don't see any other way to do it if you're not paying, and you shouldn't, because that should work.
Got it. Got it. So now I want to get a couple of actionable tips outside marketing. So if you can share with us three important and foundational um, tips to any founder out there who wants to start, or who has already started, um, who wants to start or has already started.
Um consistency. Always don't forget that it's not going to be happening in the first week. uh, $1 it's already validation, so try to scale that into two and then into four, and then go slowly. That's important. Try to solve real problems. That's the main thing. It doesn't have to be a main problem. Sometimes just a small problem that annoys people, it's lacking results. And there's a lot of boring people business that people avoid, but they do like lack people working on them as well. So don't try to be, not don't try, but don't think you need to always break all the rules and start a new market and everything's already taken. It's not like, do your thing, and even if it's a boring path, if you do it right, you get what you want for, like, it's no, like, not a secret.
Absolutely. I love that. And now I want to tap into a special message because it seems like it's not something I can fully do. So I really want to know, how would you inspire and empower women to jump into the world of entrepreneurship and startup and tech and business?
I think I'm gonna get really slammered by that because I don't think it's harder for women to start. I know that a lot of women think it's harder because sometimes it is, because okay, we have like kids and we have the home to take care of and we have a lot of other things and we lack the time. But your women are also naturally better in multitasking, so we can make it work. So I think, don't be afraid, don't play the victim card. That goes for everybody, men as well, but women, uh, take your, I hate that phrase, but it's true. Like, make your problems your opportunity, make them like help you get where you want to be. And don't be intimidated, because I know that VC, especially in the funding and VC and the money uh, part of it, is mostly male. And I already sat in tables that I was the only woman, and it isn't like, it's not comfortable. You feel
Mm,
like people are like, putting you in a not good position, but just be like yourself and find the right people. There are not good people in any area, but don't give up. And when women put themselves in there and they really try their best, they probably are going to succeed. So we have this strength in us. So that's my tip, like, go for it. Don't let any anyone saying that you shouldn't, or it's not good enough, or you're not ready, or you don't have a XY thing. But just go for it, because I work in the early hours of the morning because it's when my house is quiet. So you make it work, you know. So that's my
absolutely.
tip, just go for it. We lack actually more women founders.
Absolutely. Go for it. Go for it. We still getting more and more people to join in, so I want to give you another opportunity of presenting your two businesses. So if you can give us the 1 minute pitch of the two business that you have right now.
Okay. So Thrive is a platform that you can find supplements and supplements plans, so you can thrive and get your mental health and physical health into a better shape. It gets you quality of life. It gets you a bit better, like, day-to-day life overall. So go there. You can use some of the features for free to test it, and we want to get people their best selves back. So especially if you're using prescription drugs and want to replace them or stop taking them, or you need to help someone close to you. If you want a more like individual consultation, we do have a plan that you can talk straight with the doctors, and you can do that as well. But you should probably like be able to start with the simple features. And Ship Together is Ship Together is a platform that matches founders and marketeers and investors and everybody that are looking for an idea or have an idea, needs to meet with co-founders. It was only for developers for a few times, but it's now open to everybody. So you can go there. It's a Tinder style matching thing. So you can, yes, I'm going to talk even more. And it's really fun. And let's go get these ideas off the ground and just make an opportunity for everybody that has an idea or wants to work in an idea.
Absolutely, absolutely. Together, we go far. So
Uh,
definitely, that's an interesting thing. Can you hear me? No. So my next question: what can we wish you next?
what can we wish you next? I I like a lot of security. Like I'm a very secure person. So hopefully I get to overcome my weaknesses as well and be a better founder and help even more people to become the better version of themselves in the healthy part, but also as founders as well, because we all have something to share. And I think I hope that I get to speak with even more people and help them to overcome themselves as well.
Little joke for the guest. Can we wish that you're so?
No. No, no, he's not. He actually, my dad pushes football, like soccer, so much into him that he's already playing tennis already. Like he's so tired of it. He doesn't want to hear anymore. But if he ever goes to any national team, it's probably Brazil, because you can only choose one. If you play for Brazil, you cannot play for your other nationalities. So Brazil is the best one so far. So maybe one day. So I'm on X, and you can put my handle here. Uh, it's Bruna Raquel with a tree instead of a B. And you can also go to Thrivr.online and shiptogether.dev. So I'm gonna send you all the links, and people can go there. Uh, Follow me, like my posts, like be the second person to like my posts. I really need it. Uh, and that are the links. And they are working, so test them out, tell everything that is wrong with it so I can fix them. And my co founder can fix them as well. And we hope to get you guys happy with we are building.
So final word. Final word is yours. Anything you want to say?
I want to thank you because it's not always easy to have an opening to speak about our things, and really having someone listen to really listening. So not only uh, you know not only speaking but listening as well. It's so good. Congratulations. I know that it's going to be even bigger and better every time, and you deserve it. I love what you've been doing, and we do need to acknowledge and celebrate our like small accounts and small podcasters, because I'm sure they're gonna get big as you are one day. But it's the hardest thing that you're doing. So uh, you deserve it all the best, and I want to thank you all. And yeah, that's it. Let's uh, solve some problems.
Solve some problems. I love this. Let me just put it here. Solve some problems. Um, thank you, everyone. This is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're still getting people joining in. Still, people are still joining. You guys are amazing. This was the number 3. This was the third episode of the Startup Kitchen Show with Bruna, the amazing guest that we had today. Check out the replay if you have any questions. If you want to reach out to her, connect with her on X, and see you next week for another episode of the Startup Kitchen Show. Until next time, boom.